Hey guys, Matthew Morrow, MorrowInvest.com. I want to bring you a tip of the day that I've been wanting to do for a little while, and I was trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to approach it. But this one just is so funny to me. So every year we have hunters that go out and they bag themselves a deer, right? And you'll see these, they will post them on social media, right? These big bucks, and right, and they'll have blood smeared across their face, you know, if it's their first kill or whatever. And they'll be so proud of their kill. What I think is funny about this is how this relates to business, okay? So you might not think this relates to business, but here's my little tie-in. People regularly, I had somebody tell me that it was very easy for me to make money because I had been born with a silver spoon in my mouth, that I was rich. That struck me so funny because I lived in a double-wide trailer till I was 25. Now, there's nothing wrong with living in a double-wide trailer. Some of you guys might think that that's, you know, low class or whatever, but it's home, and it was home, and it was safe and warm and had a bed to sleep in, and, you know, we were very thankful for it. It was our house, you know. I am blessed to have a good family and things, but we didn't come from money. I didn't come from money. What do hunters do to help make themselves lucky or more successful? Well, one thing they do is the entire year they have these property manager guys that go out there, and sometimes they'll do it themselves, but they'll clear this clearing of trees or whatever, right? So they'll go out there and bulldoze all that, and it'll be this really straight spot. Then they'll green the grass, and they put out feeders. So these deer for a whole year get used to coming to this spot, and they get fed every day. So these deer come to this spot every single day of their lives, and then they have houses set out there so that you can, you know, shoot out of, and they shoot a deer. And then they're like, hey, look at this big achievement that I did. Now, I'm not making fun of hunters at all. I do the same thing in business, right? When it's not a random fluke that I decided to buy that particular property. There are a lot of reasons that I bought that property. We want to go fishing in a stocked pond, right? We want to, when you go deep, have you ever been deep sea fishing? And the guys, they're like, oh, we're going out to this spot and we just know this spot. Do you think it's just random that he drives, you know, 5 miles out to this particular spot out in the middle of the ocean? No, it's not by accident. It is purposeful. Is he some genius that just knows fish are going to be in this spot? No, he rigged the deck, right? What did he do? Well, they go out there and they sink structures and they feed their fish there to keep fish there. And they mark it with a GPS so they know where it is. And so when they take their guys out to go fishing, they go to that spot. And then if there's no fish there, they go to the next spot. But those are their spots, okay? That's their spot. None of the other fishermen know where that spot is, right? Because that's their little stocked pond, right? So I encourage you, when in business, stock your pond. Make yourself as successful as possible by rigging the deck. Now again, I'm not talking about doing anything illegal. What I'm talking about is do things that help make you more successful, whether that be cutting out negative influences, increasing your positive influences, taking a continuing education class, having a mentor that teaches you things, listening to financial programs, or whatever it is, you're going to want to do continuing education on that thing, right? Now, I'll tell you, you know, a few episodes ago we talked about going to these live events. Well, let me tell you one of the best ways to do it. Go to a mentor that is actively doing what it is you want to do. When I was starting out, I had read like 8 books on real estate, and I was really, really excited about real estate, but it didn't tell me anything. It'd be like, oh, we bought this place for 30, we put 20 in it, we had 50,000, the place was worth 100,000, we sold it, and after commissions and everything, we made $45,000. I'm like, oh man, that sounds great. How do you do it? How do I find that place? How do I get financing? They didn't tell you all that stuff, right? So what did I do? I went to a local lawyer that I knew was a closing attorney and said, hey, can I buy an hour of your time, please? Can I please let me buy an hour of your time? Sit down with me and answer some of these questions. Can I pay you, what is it, $100 an hour? Let me pay you $100 to sit down with me. Do you think it worked? Yes, absolutely it worked. In fact, he said, look, you don't got to pay me. Sit down. What is it that you want to know? And I got to ask him some questions that I had been doing research on, trying to find. He knew the answers because he was in the business. And he answered them, and he was glad to. Guess who closed my first 4 houses? He did. Because he gave that information, I was able to do 4 deals with him, right? So he got paid, and I got paid, right? So I encourage you guys to fish in a stocked pond. When you go hunting for your next deal, plant the seed for that deal. Nurture that deal. And then when the deal comes, somebody's going to say, man, you sure were lucky to get that deal. And you're going to know, no, I've worked for a year setting up that deal. I hope this blesses you guys. Have a blessed day.